He was born at 31 weeks, so 2.5 months early. Going through a C-section in a way was a little traumatic for me. One night, the nurse helped me go to the bathroom, and then she helped me walk me back to my bed, and I just started crying, and I was like, I have never been this weak in my life. She's like, it's okay. That's to be expected. To be that vulnerable was really hard for me. Even though maybe I knew it would get better, I just needed to hear it.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped co-workers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater: our members. Join us.
The NWSL Championship is coming to Houston this October. So what's that mean? Here's your guide to the NWSL Championship in just 60 seconds by me, Melissa Henderson. The National Women's Soccer League is the top women's soccer league in the United States, featuring 69 national team players from around the world, including 37 Olympians and 19 members of the World Cup winning United States women's national team. Houston was pre-selected as the 2016 NWSL Championship host city. America's top 2 professional teams will meet in Houston for the NWSL Championship. It's the end of the line for pro women's soccer playoffs, and it's all going down in H-Town. So here's how it works. There's 10 teams in NWSL. Top 4 teams in the regular season standings make it to playoffs, with the higher seed teams hosting each semifinal match, and the final 2 face off for the chance to lift the trophy. Support women's pro soccer and join us at BBVA Compass Stadium to see who will be crowned this year's champion. Sunday, October 9th at BBVA Compass Stadium. Get your tickets now at bbvacompassstadium.com.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. For the Seattle Reign, it's the final home game of the season, but will there be postseason play for a club that played in the past 2 National Women's Soccer League title games? With their playoff hopes hanging by a very thin thread, the Reign and league-leading Washington Spirit meet for the second time in 5 days. Nice to have you with us, along with former Reign defender, also a member of the Canadian national team, Carmelita Moscato. I'm Tom Glasgow. Nice to have you with us. Well, it was a 2-1 Spirit victory on Wednesday night on the Spirit's home pitch. Seattle, as I mentioned, still in the playoff race, but just barely. They would love to get a little payback tonight and hopefully keep those postseason hopes alive.
Yeah, I think the best part about tonight is that like every other time they've played, it's about the process. It's about getting it done. Of course, I think it's going to be an all cost game in that they're going to really put their best foot forward and maybe play a more attacking style because they need to. It's more urgent. So I'm excited to see how they come out tonight, but it is definitely a must win, and I know the players feel that.
And for the Spirit, an opportunity to wrap up the league shield this evening, a shield that has been in the possession of the Reign the past 2 seasons. It's really been an outstanding campaign up to this point for Jim Gabarra and his organization. His first year as head coach and general manager, and he's really put together a very deep squad.
Agree. I think it's really a balanced squad. Like you mentioned, there's a top goal scorer in Crystal Dunn, who in fact has not necessarily scored the amount of goals. Her impact has been huge, but that's been spread out through the team. Defensively, they're solid, and we're going to see another defensively strong game tonight with probably a high press, getting these guys under pressure to start with.
Got off to a 2-0 lead against Seattle in that Wednesday night matchup, with the Reign getting a late penalty kick by Kim Little to get back into it, but in the end, it was Washington coming away with a victory. As you see the 2 teams come out for the player introductions this evening. And for Seattle, this will be somewhat emotional because Keelan Winters, you're seeing her receiving hugs from her teammates. She is the team captain. Megan Rapinoe giving her a hug right there. This will be her final home match at the ripe old age of 27, heading into retirement to begin a new career.
Yeah, and it's interesting, 27, she's definitely got a lot left in the tank, but it's a personal decision to move on. And I think the impact Keelan's had on this club and the girls is tremendous, and they will be playing for her tonight, as amongst everything else.
Laura Harvey describing her as the glue to this team, and she really is one of those players whose impact on a club is not defined by statistics. Talk about what she does for a team.
I think defining her as the glue on and off the pitch is something it's very accurate. I would agree with that. And I think what she does is she enables people to be their best selves. And what I mean by that is she encourages people to stand up for what they believe in, to on and off the pitch, and to really. I think what she's done is led, especially the rookies, would testify to the fact that she's been an incredible leader for everybody involved. And she does it by role modeling. Every game she brings a certain level of consistency that this club has relied on for so many years.
Well, she has been fabulous. She has been a member of this franchise from day one. And I mentioned she's transitioning into a new career, and you're going to see proof of that right now as the crowd recognizes Keelan Winters. She is off to become a first responder as a member of the Kirkland Fire Department. Let's listen in.
Keelan with a ceremonial jacket and helmet on behalf of Seattle Reign FC and the Kirkland Fire Department. Please join us in thanking Keelan for her leadership and commitment to excellence on and off the pitch.
Quite a moment for.
Early 1947, Memorial Stadium was dedicated to honor the Seattle youth who lost their lives in World War II. Seattle Reign FC is proud to call Memorial Stadium home and committed to building a strong and enduring partnership with Seattle Public Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. At this time, we ask you to join Seattle Reign FC, the Washington Spirit, and the National Women's Soccer League as we remember those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. Please join us now as we observe a moment of silence. Thank you. We ask you now to please welcome the Burlington Edison High School Navy Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Color Guard and join us in singing of the National Anthem, performed tonight by Jessica Oliver.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in lead gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Jessica Oliver without that outstanding rendition of the national anthem here at Memorial Stadium in Seattle. And obviously there was a lot of attention heading into that anthem, wondering what approach Megan Rapinoe and her Reign teammates would take in the wake of Megan's recent protest 2 games ago when she took a knee during the national anthem, and then what occurred Wednesday evening back in Maryland when Bill Lynch, the owner of the Washington Spirit, moved up the national anthem to prevent Megan from continuing her protest. Tonight, locked in arms, each of the Reign teammates, as was the case earlier today at CenturyLink Field, the Seattle Seahawks in their game against the Miami Dolphins, and also about 5-minute walk from here, the Seattle Storm of the WNBA also took that same tact of interlocking arms prior to the game on this very important, very emotional day for many in this country, the 15-year anniversary of 9/11. All right, well, that is a very talented squad right there that currently leads the league table. Kelsey Weiss will be in goal. Didasco, Johnson, Church, one of the best all time for the U.S. national team. Ali Krieger defensively. Lohman, Sigvardsson, Jensen, Huster, Kleiner, Stengel, and Ordega shaping out the rest of that Spirit lineup. For the Seattle Reign, in goal, Haley Koppmeyer. Defensively, Utsugi, Barnes, Fletcher, Mathias. In the midfield, Little, Winters, Fishlock, and up front, Yanez, Mellis, and Megan Rapinoe. So, obviously, Seattle playing with, I'm sure, 100% of its focus on this match, but wondering what's taking place down in Portland tonight. That's where Western New York is playing. If Western New York gets a tie or a victory, that will officially eliminate Seattle from postseason contention. That is in part because Chicago, one of the clubs Seattle was hoping to hurdle to get into a postseason spot, tied today with Kansas City 0-0. So the Red Stars are safe. The last team that Seattle has an opportunity now to catch is Western New York. So we shall see. And again, the Spirit leading the league table with 39 points. They are 4 points ahead of the Portland Thorns. So if the Spirit and Thorns were to both tie this evening, Washington would clinch the NWSL Shield, and obviously they would do that as well with a straight-out victory here tonight. So beyond that, there's not much going on and off the field with both of these teams.
Pretty quiet night just
pretty
here in Seattle.
Quiet stuff.
Pretty good themes going around, and you know what I'm most interested in actually is, in fact, the football and seeing what the Seattle Reign will do, if anything, differently in a must-win game. In terms of their approach. Having played the Spirit 2 times in 5 days, you have to wonder if they would change anything about their 2-1 loss. So let's see how they line up and how the game pans out.
Good look at head coach and general manager Laura Harvey, and in the foreground it was Reign owner Bill Predmore. Nice crowd here this evening.
Lots of wonderful support. It's great to see everybody holding the scarves, and it does seem like a really unified crowd. It's pretty amazing.
So what are the challenges when you are facing a team for the second time in less than a week? Obviously, there are lineup changes, more it would appear, initially anyway, for Washington in terms of the lineup they had on Wednesday. But nevertheless, is this like the third of 4 halves, or are you completely starting things over?
I think it is the third of 4 halves. I like the way you put that. I think that really is, if you're really confident in the way you play, which I believe Seattle and Laura Harvey is, they're probably going to continue to do what they did and adjust 1 or 2 things strategically. What I know about the last game is that Washington started off and actually maintained a very high line of engagement, meaning a press, and it really took Seattle Reign's rhythm away from them. So I'm wondering if they're going to do the same and how the Reign will adjust to that, because they really found it hard to get out of their half last game. So.
It was a frustrating result, obviously, for the Reign with a loss, but it was a late added time goal in the first half, a spectacular goal off the left foot of Crystal Dunn for her first goal this season. And then Shayna Williams in the second half, it was really a gift goal. Haley Koppmeyer had a ball that I'm sure she would tell you 10 times out of 10 she's got to hold on to it. She could not secure the ball. Williams, to her credit, was there, took advantage of it 2-0. And then the late opportunity due to the Nairn handball, giving the penalty kick opportunity to Kim Little. We know what she does when she gets penalty kicks.
She'll convert it.
She just puts them away. So 2-1 the final in that match.
It's a pretty even start to the game here. No real string of possession by either team.
Here Matthias into Rapinoe, who lays it back, and Kendall Fletcher over to Haley Kottmeyer. How do you think Haley has performed in the wake of getting this job full-time? We mentioned the miscue, but overall, what has she brought to that goal, having replaced Hope Solo?
Yeah, I think every single game, I think Cops brings her intensity, her passion. I think that, in her trust is built a lot of times as well as in the game, but in her training. And she's been here for part of this club, on contract, out of contract, all that stuff for 5 years. 4 years, in fact. Sorry, but she has been has proved herself, and she's a character player for this team. And I think her heart is in it. So I do believe that she's done a really good job.
All ahead, a turnover and a good shot on goal, but a well-positioned goalkeeper in Weiss, as Seattle is denied, as Manon Mellis could not beat Weiss.
Quality that Rapinoe brings, that through
Yep.
ball was incredible. And I believe she would want that back for sure. Different angle. She got cut off by number 5 there.
Good defense that time, at least recovery by Whitney Church, trying to make things a little more difficult for Mellis.
So as you can see, Seattle is definitely giving the Washington Spirit a bit of their own medicine here by standing high and pressuring. Little turnovers like this, it goes a long way as long as Seattle can maintain possession out of these turnovers.
There's certainly no need for a conservative approach for Seattle tonight. They understand the circumstances, and they'll know before this match is over if they are in fact still alive for postseason play. Fletcher getting it away from danger, and Katie Stengel for the Spirit. Fishlock and Bowman there in the midfield area. That midfield story this season for the Spirit has really been such a positive one. Lohman and Huster, two of the big reasons why they are where they are at the top of the league standings. They've had outstanding campaigns.
It's been cool to watch Joanna Lohman through the years, having played with her at Penn State and watching her professional career. And I think, it's nice to see players that are older having their best seasons. It's very inspirational. And I think Tori Huster is a great compliment to Jo, and they have built a nice partnership.
Barnes, the switch over to Fletcher. Krieger, Huster.
What I really like about the Reign and what they've done all season long is as soon as they lose the ball, you can tell they get into a tight team. Just as a principle, there's 2 or 3 players immediately around the ball. I like to call it the hunt. And they regain it pretty quickly. And tonight it's already proving to be successful. They're kind of living in Washington's half at the moment.
Rapinoe with a nice head on to Mellis. Oh, good ball by Huster up ahead to Kleiner. And Matthias with good defense.
And that's what you're going to get from Merritt time and time again. It's a new position for her. There's nothing to hide about there, but she is excellent in the sense that she's able to cover the ground and she makes it a physical game.
What's the biggest challenge for someone who is not used to that defensive position, and in particular playing on the outside? What are some of the biggest hurdles that need to be cleared to make that transition as smooth as possible?
Generally speaking, you're at a different vantage point, and staying with the back line is a skill and kind of a spatial awareness, something that you need over time almost. So to be put as a right back, all her attention should be is with staying with the lead, which is Fletch and Lou, and making sure she's not behind the line or in front of the line to keep people on side or allow people to get in behind her. So I would say positional spatial awareness is the hardest thing.
Kleiner keeps it in, well done.
And I have to add also this time when you're an attacking-minded player,
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah.
get involved. And if you have, it's about the team being organized and having cover, so your lane isn't vacated and being taken advantage of. That's the other part as a fullback. Generally speaking, that's pretty tough.
It's that muscle memory, right, that makes you want to go.
You do.
You see
wanna
the
be
ball going
involved.
forward, you want to
Exactly.
follow that ball.
That's just it.
Tedesco, who's been playing some very good soccer for Jim Gabarra. Really happy with what she's been doing lately.
It's great to see. She's such a young player. She was had a rookie year in Australia, playing in their W League when I was there, and she played in the center mid and really did own it and did very well with her squad. It's actually really good to see her play in a different position. She seems like one of those players that will have a good professional career and will be versatile.
That was Francesca Ortega, unable to control that ball. Back to Didesco, UCLA is where she played collegiately out of Honolulu.
And here you start to see Spirit inch up. It's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to be a risk and reward game for Seattle. What is the advantage of playing out of the back, and are you going to give the ball away in these positions? So they're going to have to analyze that and figure that out.
Throw in for Seattle coming up. Utsugi. Rapinoe. She will be back in action with the national team later this week, Thursday in Columbus, Ohio against Thailand.
What I already like about what she's bringing, and you don't always see it on the screen, is having played against wingers like herself, and specifically Pino, what she does well is she really pulls away on the weak side. She's always in a great position for attacking transition, and as a defender, she's your worst nightmare because she's not really in a position to defend. She's not connected to her defense, but one pass to her and you're cooked. So she's done a great job positionally, and she brings that threat.
And not quite at 100% coming off that ACL back in December, although the knee is very sound once again. You were telling me it's really more of some calf issues, minor, that she's dealing with, but
Yes.
that should come with some more time.
Definitely. I think it's the natural progression to, back to play, and she had an experience in the Olympics, and now it's just about building on that experience and getting more minutes, essentially.
Almost remarkable, really, that she was even able to get back for the games, considering the severity of an ACL. Kim Little plays it ahead, looking for Rapinoe. A terrific pass, Megan Rapinoe clearing space. Going to work on Didasco, the left-footed shot, defended well by the Spirit. A great pass, though, by Kim Little to set up that opportunity. And obviously, and look, every team in this league, almost without exception, can talk about an injury or injuries and the impact on a season, but there is no doubt a player of the caliber of Megan Rapinoe's not having her available prior to the summer games impacted this team. I don't think they would use that as an excuse, but her caliber of play, quality of play, I think she would have helped.
But at the same time, I agree with you. I think it's such a game where of partnerships, and it's really hard to pinpoint it to one person.
Right.
However, her creativity, her attacking threat is always going to be missed on any squad she's on, especially when she's in form. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Utsugi. Rumi with a nice move. Good control on the ball. Looking for Yanez. Little strong on the pass. Beverly unable to catch up with it. Fletcher with a header.
It's going to be important tonight for Seattle to continue to maintain this level of possession, stringing together three passes plus. But really, it's going to come down to penetrating with the ball and making sure that they're creating final acts, meaning crosses and shots. It's not going to be enough just to simply move the Spirit, although that is to tire them out and to keep them on their toes for sure, but they're going to have to create some more final acts tonight.
Fletcher. No space to operate with, and that pass to no one in particular that time by Mellis. Little. Up ahead, Rapinoe looking for options. The shot saved by Weiss. Terrific job that time by Kelsey Weiss. And Megan Rapinoe with a very solid strike. And again, it's Little to Rapinoe.
Such an unpredictable strike as well. The way that, I don't think there's many people's that their joints move the way quite Megan's does.
Yeah.
She gets this incredible
I know
power on the wall.
mine never have.
Me neither.
So some good early action here in Seattle as we're in the 13th minute. Scoreless match. That shot by Megan Rapinoe, probably the best opportunity either club has had so far.
It does seem like a pretty conservative approach from the Spirit, whether they've changed that or not from the last game or waiting for a moment to change that. But I do feel like they have been sitting back a little bit, and it's going to be about Seattle breaking their block. It's going to be one of those games, or at least a half.
Very nice combination
Just
there.
like that.
Yeah, Little and Utsugi. Yanez with the cross, Utsugi in the box, and the left-footed shot off target. But a very nice, rapid build-up that time by the Reign.
Yeah, to see a left back in the box shooting on goal, you know that the partnership's alive. You had Bev on the outside, her cutting on the inside. That's picture perfect.
So is Yanez feeding it back in. Just got under that ball too much. We're just getting an update. First half score from Providence Park down in Portland, where the Thorns are leading Western New York 2-0. So that is very good news for Seattle. Not necessarily good news for the Spirit. They would like to see Western New York take care of that. But from a Reign standpoint, that's exactly what they wanted to hear. Yes. They need a Portland victory, and a victory here tonight. A tie is not good enough. They need a win and a Portland win to stay alive.
It's great to see Keelan in one of her last matches just technically sound connected. I would say over 90% of her passes at this point. It's great to see she's able to, you know, it's tough to fight through that emotion knowing it's your last game and all the rest of it, but she's been really solid so far.
Kleiner. Tripped up and fouled by Rapinoe. He'll hook with the right hand initially, and not sure Megan, she may have just lost her balance a bit, but
yeah, just got on the wrong side of her.
Megan was in the neighborhood. So
that's
there
it.
You go.
Got on the wrong side of her. A little awkward interaction happens.
Didasco with the free kick. Into the 18. Kleiner, surrounded by three members of the Reign, unable to clear it. Allie Krieger with the shot. Lauren Barnes getting some pressure from Ortega. Very nice move by Lauren.
You talk about a real skill set you need to break the press. Not only do you need structure to break it, to really spread them out, move the ball quickly, but what Lauren just did there was top level. It's the ability to be composed under pressure.
Left foot, Didasco into the box, headed away by Fishlock. Lohman. Kleiner. And blocked by Matthias. And the first corner of the match coming up for the Washington Spirit. Allie Krieger to take the corner. You can see a bit of a breeze here at Memorial Stadium in Seattle. Krieger, and that could have been dangerous as Barnes sends it out for another goal kick, but if you get a little shaky deflection there, you can really put your keeper in a tough position.
Set pieces are interesting. You're always trying to unlock the opposition. So what they did there was they created a 3v2, and then they sent out another player, which took Bev Yanez off of the front post, which opened up that space you were just referring to. So it was very strategic. Good job by Washington.
Huster after the far post corner from Krieger, and a goal kick coming up for Kopmeyer. Fletcher getting the head on it, and then Huster trying to volley it in over the goal. Little trying to flick it on. Taken away, Manon Nellis. And Seattle looking to counter. Yanez really just did not have the forward movement to really put a solid strike on that ball. She had to hesitate, really had nothing behind it. An easy save for Weiss.
Great opportunity created essentially out of nothing by Manon. She's excellent at that back press. So those defensive midfielders from Washington have to be aware of her back press because she's going to strip them more often than not with her instincts and her speed.
Taking that away. A terrific feed. Nellis. Little trailing. Yanez.
She'll want that back.
A little wide, a little high.
Don't get me wrong, that is not easy, but definitely
No.
we want that back.
There's the service
What a
by
ball.
Nellis. I'm not sure it's easy to sit up here and say that maybe Little would have been an option for her, but from her perspective, maybe she did not see a lane.
Totally. I think she was attracted to that biggest space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what Jess Fishlock lacks in size, she has never lacked in heart, in turn, especially when we talk
Spot
about
on.
competing in the air. She will go up with anybody, and take a look. She gets up high.
In
and
fact,
fouling Huster, but I tell you what, that's some pretty good vertical hop right there.
I'd have to say her timing was impeccable.
Yeah, very good. Here's Stengel. And it will be a third corner kick in the last few minutes for the Spirit, putting some pressure on Seattle on the set pieces.
Wondering here if Washington's going to continue to target their near post, something they've perhaps scouted and know that is
Well,
easy-
and Allie
easy to
Krieger
unlock.
on her way to take this corner, had a brief exchange with Joanna Lohman. We'll see if those two may try to connect here. Lohman, number 15. See her right there, the left of your screen, guarded by Fletcher.
Can't see it right now, but Estelle Johnson is essentially at the top of the box, unmarked. Clearance is going to be
very,
very nice.
Very nice. I'm not sure if that was a straight up shot on goal by Krieger, but why not claim it, because she almost put it in. Nice save by Kopmeyer. Fourth corner coming up for the Spirit. Take a look.
Or Jess had it
Or
as well.
Jess was getting ready.
She would have got it as well. Well done.
Krieger again.
Near post.
And just
More central.
off the head that time of Ordega. Check it, Johnson. And the one thing when you have those big goalie gloves on,
happens,
it's
yeah.
challenging to tie your shoe, so that's where
Sometimes you need some help.
you
know?
need a little bit of help.
There you go.
Kendall saying, it's not as easy as it looks when there's pressure on you.
Yeah, exactly.
People are watching. Rapinoe. Fishlock. And playing it up ahead. Kim Little trying to run under it. Didasco. Unable to control it. Little. Nellis. And played out for a throw in for Seattle. Good recovery by number 3 right there, Caprice Didasco. Fishlock. Seattle continues to put pressure on Washington. And the ball given away. See if Washington can counter here.
It's not too often that you see the Reign structurally susceptible. They have a lot of numbers behind the ball. There was about 4 players versus the 1 in that moment. They weren't going to get undone. It's going to be hard to get the Reign on the actual counterattack because of their organization.
Ortega that time unable to seize the opportunity. Barnes ahead to Fishlock. Jess immediately putting the ball up high, hoping Rapinoe can run under it. Megan very smart there. She allowed Didasco to get that touch.
It's a tough job as a defender, balancing that space in behind you, so you're having to get the, but at the end of the day, it really is about clearances at times. You sometimes have to just get the ball out. I believe in proactive defending. Of course, you have to head it to your teammate, but at times when the opposition is close enough, you just have to get it out of bounds.
Allow the defense an opportunity to reorganize.
Exactly. When you know you can't connect with the teammate.
Lohman aggressively defending Fletcher, and it pays off. Well done by Joanna Lohman. Throw-in coming up for the Spirit. Foul on Didasco. Free kick coming up for the Reign as Rapinoe's up.
I think it'll be important to get the left side a little bit more engaged. With Rumi in there and just finding, because she is such an attacking threat as well, it'd be nice to see her in these types of positions to better affect the final acts.
A lot of room for Mellis.
Fantastic.
Right-handed
ball,
service,
fantastic
Yanez.
ball.
And Weiss survives that threat.
Call that the corridor of death ball. It's the one where the defenders are facing their own goal within proximity, within 5 yards, and you're likely to get an own goal. Really, and that's the type of service that you dream as on the other end of it, as for Bev there. That's fantastic.
Give and go between Mellis and Little does not pay off. Take another look at that close call for Seattle. Mellis, nice service.
Well defended.
Kind of got pulled down a bit there by Whitney Church. Winters has the ball taken away by Stengel. Nice little dummy play that time by Lohman. Getting tangled up with Kim Little. Throw in for the Reign.
Continues to show that they're not going to bow down tonight, that's for sure. It's going to be a fight for those types of moments, because that's where you start to get momentum. Frustrate the opponent, make it physical, as well as play some nice soccer.
Scoreless here in the 26th minute. Rapinoe. Mellis. Little. Kim Little, left foot, off target. A great example there, though, of her patience when she's in that 18 or nearing the 18. She won't rush. That was just a misfire on the shot, but you can see the ability that one of the elements of her game that makes her one of the truly special players in women's soccer.
And I think for her, for Kim specifically, she wants to assist others. But for her, pulling the trigger in that moment shows a lot of growth in her game. It's really nice to see her hit it, especially with her left foot.
It's a really good point. You oftentimes don't equate selfishness with a team sport, but there are times when you need to be selfish.
Yeah, agreed. It is. It's true.
You don't shoot, you can't score.
That's it.
Fish like ahead. Outstanding ball. Rapinoe, the left foot. Yanez, the goal.
Yanez has been knocking on the door all night. She really deserved that one. Put herself in an opportunistic spot. And what a cross by Megan Rapinoe. Those are the moments you can't really replace.
No, that was exceptional soccer. And that was maybe the toughest part of the entire process. But an excellent cross, and Yanez just outrunning that Washington defense. Just simply had to put a foot on it and did just that.
And just like the play before where we had that cross from Menon, she ended up getting on the wrong side. This time she got on the right side and had a spectacular finish. She wasn't going to miss that one.
First goal of the night scored in the 27th minute by number 17, Beverly Yanez.
Second goal this season for Bev Yanez. And for Megan Rapinoe, her first assist in this injury-abbreviated season. Free kick coming up for the Reign. The foul on Ordega. And there's Jess and Ordega getting tangled up.
As you can see, a little in-game change that's actually made a huge impact is just the ability for the front three to be in different positions but still affect the play because of their skill set. So that's a dream front three in general, to have players that can play in the wing, play in the 9, which means central striker there. And so as you can see immediately by Pino going off to the left, she does what she does best and gets that ball on her left foot and crosses the ball.
I believe it wasn't too many minutes ago you talked about how you'd like to see the Reign go down that left side a little bit more.
There you go. I did say that, didn't I?
You did say that. I listened
I
to
forgot.
you.
There you
I
go.
listened.
Thanks, Tom. So nice.
And there we see the payoff for the Reign. Well, we mentioned that this is the final home game of the career of Keelan Winters, but it's the final home game for everybody on this squad. So obviously they want to leave a positive impression. If they are in the postseason, there will not be a match at home. It'll have to be done on the road in a semifinal. And then, of course, this year Houston will play host as a neutral site to the league championship game. So for all these players, this is one where they hope to leave a very positive impression on their fans, who've turned out in very nice numbers this season. Over 4,500 per game, 4th best in the league. Left-footed shot by Yanez, saved by Weiss.
It's nice to have seen over the years, because I was here in 2014. I experienced the crowd, this stadium, and just seeing how it's grown has been fantastic. A lot of fan base improvements here, and it's I think they're going to be really emotional, I think, this season, because they've seen this team go through it all, really.
Matthias, Fletcher back to Matthias. Yanez, Little. And Kleiner unable to get there for the Spirit.
So what's happening now with the center backs being so wide, you have a sniper effect. So the weak side winger, is going to try to take the risk of taking that ball, because that switch is quite long. So Seattle's going to have to be careful. They might poach something late in the game here.
Yanez unable to beat Weiss to that one. handball call on Joanna Lohman. Fans, mark your calendar now for the 2016 National Women's Soccer League Championship on Sunday, October 9th at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston. Be there to support our league, support our game, and hopefully support our team. Tickets for the NWSL Championship game are on sale now at nwslchampionship.com with prices starting at $20. Start making plans now to be in Houston for the NWSL Championship. And obviously the way things sit right now, Washington with a very good chance to be playing in that title contest. They will host one of the semifinal matchups, either as the number 1 seed or number 2 seed.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, I think this year they've really, they have a lot of experience, a lot of players who have been on this Washington team for a long time, and it really has come together for them this year. It's great to see.
I'm speaking with Jim Gabara before the game. He said, you know, because of our depth, here's Mellis trying to get to that ball and does. Weiss positioned well. We have constant competition, and no one is really guaranteed anything on this team. You have to go out and earn it. He feels that has obviously been a significant benefit for his team.
It is. It's a sign of success. I don't feel like any player should ever feel safe on a squad. It's really, it takes away that level of motivation and keeping you, you know, and that's up to the player not to allow themselves to get comfortable. But having that true depth will create that naturally.
I think it really does speak to the depth when you talk about Crystal Dunn, who last season was the league MVP, the Golden Boot winner, 15 goals, and here's a scenario that you were talking about
situation.
Be careful. 15 goals last season for Dunn, just one this season, and yet the team is in first place. You have to have depth to make that happen.
That's exactly right. And be a little bit more organized and be a little bit more selfless.
Mellis. Utsugi, flag is up. Flag is up, the offside call.
So what allows her to get forward is essentially because we have numbers back. So she's taking risks to get forward and get in the box. So you have a left back that's been in the box 3 times this half.
Get another look at this. So
fantastic
Mellis.
rung on the. She's on the weak side. They had no idea that she was there. Great positioning. Well done.
That was close. Didasco was very close to keeping Utsugi onside.
So that's exactly what I love about the Japanese players. There's so much. They're probably the best in the world at a lot of things that you would say technically, but they're able to, what I find is as a national team, their best attributes are essentially you lose them. They're on your shoulder. They get out of your vision just a little bit, so then you lose track, and then they show up in the box and on your back shoulder, and you're like, when did that happen?
Well, for those that have not followed the rank closely this year, Rumi has not been with this team all season. She was a relatively late addition and has really helped defensively on that left side. Carson Pickett, the rookie out of Florida State, was getting some time there, but this is an experienced international
good technician, yes,
who has been around the block more than once, and that's experience. Hopefully Carson will get as her career progresses.
Totally.
But it kind of is what it is.
There's something about that experience.
Yeah.
She's a true proven champion. She knows where to be structurally. Again, you always want to be working with that back line. She hasn't had that luxury, but you find herself. She knows where to be and how to create that partnership quicker because of her experience.
Of course, also from a tremendous Japanese program, Naomi Kawasumi on this Reigns squad, available tonight to come off the bench, is really a gifted player. Mellis. Seattle hoping to build on the 1-0 lead. A little not happy with herself with that touch that was just a bit too soft. Here's Matthias.
This is her attacking prowess. She knows how to join the attack. She will take that dribble, and that's actually exactly something you want from a fullback, a modern fullback.
So is the danger, though, at times when you're that type of player making that transition, is you make that build-up, but maybe sometimes don't get back as quickly as you should, or recognize when you need to get back? Or
That's
is that
it, that's
fairly
it.
easy?
Oh, you're exactly right. You have to calculate it, so you make sure the team should be organized where they have cover. It's been primarily Keelan, who's been dropping when a defender goes out. However, yes, you can't be getting forward every single play, or else you're going to lose steam, and you're actually not going to be able to defend as well. So you have to calculate for yourself.
Ellis, did she keep it in? She did. Throw in for the Reign. Fletcher to take it. 37th minute in Seattle. The lone goal coming 10 minutes ago. Beverly Yanez poaching it in off a very nice left-footed cross from Megan Rapinoe.
I think sometimes the Reign have an interesting problem where they try to force it down the ball side when they haven't actually moved Washington or the opponent, but it's because they're so technically gifted, they actually most times get out of the situations, but the correct thing would most likely be to switch the ball and to continue to move Washington. You want to see them really moving them side to side so they fatigue them. Just like this. Just find a rhythm for yourselves. It gets really frustrating for the opponent. They do not.
Get them playing, get them defending east-west as opposed to attacking north-south.
That typically leads to a string of about maybe from 3 to 7 passes that really undoes a team, and they kind of almost not give up, but they end up dropping and getting into a block situation. The Reign do that very well.
Kleiner. Ortega. Taken away by Little.
Great job by Lou Barnes there to step off the front to make sure she didn't get a sniff. And in fact, the back pressure allowed them to regain the ball. Really well done.
Little, a quick turn, targeting Fishlock, who is onside. The drop to Millis. Left-footed shot or pass, a little strong maybe, over the head of Megan Rapinoe.
She'd say it was a cross. What do you think? Tough to say.
Tough to say. I can't commit one way or the other. What was so impressive about that was just the split-second reaction to decide, to know that she had a teammate who could receive that pass.
Exactly what you're saying. It could be specifically the Kim Little, Jessica Fishlock connection. I think they have a sixth sense about them. Even when they played together in Melbourne City, you saw that all over the pitch. They really have a strong sense of where each other are on the pitch, and it really allows them to be their best selves on the field.
It's kind of killing a little time here while Aaron Mathias to get the boots laced up.
Oh,
and so Fishlock
there you go.
Drops into a defensive position.
This is what we mean, playing down the channel with a lot of tight pressure immediately on you. They often get out of it, but at the same time, it's a little bit risky in their half.
Ortega getting past Rapinoe. And fouled by Winners. Good opportunity here for Washington on the free kick to put something dangerous into the 18. We'll see if that's the approach taken.
There hasn't been too many opportunities from the Spirit created within the run of play, so I believe these set pieces are at a premium at the moment and maybe getting something off of this.
Krieger to take it. Shipping it into the box, headed out by Little. Didasco with the shot. Left foot, blocked away by Kampmeyer. Ortega inside Lohman there. Ball still loose. Getting poached by Stengel, and then finally cleared away. The best opportunities to score so far in this match in the run of play for Washington.
I think it goes back to my initial theme of clearances, making sure you get a really solid foot, getting that ball out far, high and wide, avoids those kinds of situations. But it's tough. It was just kind of skipped through there.
Still Johnson coming to Didasco, who then finds Kleiner. Huster. And Rapinoe unable to keep that in.
I think the last two actions and plays from Washington, you saw them trying to penetrate centrally, and I think against a really strong Reign midfield and the tightness that they create with Jess and Keelan, it's really hard to thread a ball through there. They're going to have to attack through the flanks if they're going to be successful against this Reign team.
Fishlock. Here's Little.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting through centrally there.
Huster playing it back to Johnson. Ortega gives it away. Yanez out wide to Rapinoe. Nellis. And Matthias is overlapped from her right back position. Up into more of a familiar home for her. Well, wear what the pros wear. Pick up a 2016 jersey for men, women, or kids. We have hundreds of Reign FC items to choose from. Head over to the ReignFCshop.com. Yanez denied. Bowman. Kleiner. And Lohman unable to control that ball. A throw in for Seattle as we are about to head into the 45th minute here in the first half. A 1-0 Seattle lead. Beverly Yanez with the lone goal coming in the 27th minute.
I don't think there's any pressure on the Reign to necessarily continue to attack or to take any risks. I think at this point, see the half through, keep doing what they've been doing. Try not to give the ball away for the next minute, which they're capable of.
If we get any added time, I wouldn't expect it would be more than a minute. There's really been no delay of any consequence here in the first half. Fishlock the left foot. Or was that Rapinoe sending that in?
That was Rapinoe, yes.
And again, Yanez the target.
All she needs is an inch. You know, you see the confidence growing as every minute goes on. You see she's delivered. You know, if you really were to even go statistical, no matter how you feel, she's been delivering probably four dangerous crosses, setting people up for a goal, which is cool to see.
The referee has added a minimum
1 minute of added time.
of stoppage time.
And a throw in for Seattle as Stengel was unable to connect with Kleiner.
Just happy to live on the ball a little bit. Keep moving it strategically, even back around.
Very simple game of keep away as long as you keep it simple, right?
That's right. Well put. I like that.
Throw in for Washington. It was late in the first half on Wednesday when Crystal Dunn found the back of the net to give Washington a 1-0 lead. Here's Rapinoe, and that is it for the first half. in Seattle. So far, so good for Seattle, not only here at Memorial Stadium, but down in Portland, where the last score we had was 2-0, Thorns leading Western New York. And that is a score line that Seattle would love to see continue. And if that's the case, they will live for at least 2 more weeks in the playoff picture in the NWSL.
I think there's a lot to play for tonight regardless, obviously keeping in mind the last game, a narrow loss, that they're going to go for it regardless of the result of the other game, but we know what's at stake.
The NWSL Championship is coming to Houston this October. So what's that mean? Here's your guide to the NWSL Championship in just 60 seconds by me, Melissa Henderson. The National Women's Soccer League is the top women's soccer league in the United States, featuring 69 national team players from around the world, including 37 Olympians and 19 members of the World Cup winning United States women's national team. Houston was pre-selected as the 2016 NWSL Championship host city. America's top 2 professional teams will meet in Houston for the NWSL Championship. It's the end of the line for pro women's soccer playoffs, and it's all going down in H-Town. So here's how it works. There's 10 teams in NWSL. Top 4 teams in the regular season standings make it to playoffs, with the higher seed teams hosting each semifinal match, and the final 2 face off for the chance to lift the trophy. Support women's pro soccer and join us at BBVA Compass Stadium to see who will be crowned this year's champion. Sunday, October 9th at BBVA Compass Stadium. Get your tickets now at bbvacompassstadium.com.
Well, the Legends campaign here in Seattle is a partnership between Reign FC and Chihuly Studio. Dale Chihuly crafted the Reign Royal Blue Piccolo Venetian, which is symbolically presented to each Reign FC legend. And tonight's Seattle Reign FC legends are Jennifer Aguilar, Gloria Cisneros, Frances Thompson, Jennifer Reeder, Nandi Boatwright, and Gabrielle Andrada. At each regular season game this season, Reign FC will honor women as a Seattle Reign FC legend in recognition of their extraordinary contributions in our community and beyond. On the 15th anniversary of the tragic events of September 11th, Seattle Reign FC honors these 6 sailors serving in the United States Navy. These 6 women represent the thousands of women serving in the armed forces at home and abroad, whose courage and commitment really is an inspiration to us all. The 5 honorees are currently stationed at bases across Washington State, and today we recognize these individuals and those they represent as Seattle Reign FC legends for their bravery, their service to our nation, and for their defense of the hard-fought freedoms that we cherish. 1-0, the halftime lead, Seattle over the Washington Spirit, as we have mentioned a few occasions. Final game for Keelan Winters. More on that coming up.
I think I've captained almost every team that I've been a part of. It's not something that I ever really focused on. It just kind of happened. The one thing that I think from when I was like a kid, I moved around a lot. So my dad was a professional basketball coach. But every time we moved, my mom would tell us, you have to be a friend to make a friend. And it sounds kind of silly, or it sounds like kind of trivial, I guess. But for me, like constantly being the new kid and having to be outgoing and having to go out of my way to make friends, I think actually taught me some of the leadership skills that I have today that I guess lend themselves towards being a team captain. Is, I understand what it's like to be the new kid, and I want everybody to be involved. I want everybody to be appreciated, and so I guess that's what I would really attribute to being team captain. So I'm one of 6 kids, and that in and of itself was a ton of fun because it was like automatically you had a team. We were always playing everything that there could be played. So growing up in the family that I grew up in, I think kind of helped, I guess, spur my love of competition for sure. Not only sport, but like just moving and playing, really. That was just something we did and something that I think probably helped me develop my overall athleticism and love of sport. God, to be here from season 1 till now, it's like, what a difference. Season 1, I mean, I was in a bit of a slump, I think both mentally and I just wasn't playing very well. But going through season 1 where it was my first time playing on a losing team. And it was my first year as a team captain as a professional. And so that year was just like a huge learning year for me. This is something that Laura has taught me, is that to be able to accept but also allow people to show their individuality. Because ultimately, both on and off the field, that's what you want. You know, you need that individual, I guess, spice to make your team successful. So I think Pino's a good example. Like, you would never want to like play down her personality on or off the field, right? Because on the field, her individuality on the ball is insane. That's what people are so scared of. Is like when she's on the ball, they never know what she's going to do, and she's so dangerous with it. And so it's like you never would want to like play that down ever. And so I think coming into a professional team and being named the captain, that was a learning year for me. Is just like realizing that to accept everybody's own individual personality and allow them to be themselves. And so for me, it was quite the difference going from what I had always known to that. And so for me, that was probably the biggest thing that I learned.
Running at Cutsall. Ball to Winners, inside the 18. Ball's on the right foot. Goal! Seattle Reign! Keelan Winners! 8-minute mark. Wow. 2 passes, and what a finish by Keelan Winners.
What a nice composed goal, and you love seeing Keelan get to be on the front end of this, because she has for so many years done everybody's dirty work for them.
So I think if you look just from going from season 1 to season 2, obviously there was some personnel changes, but I also think one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that the women that did come back from year 1 to year 2 in the off season went out and did exactly what they needed to do to improve as individuals. And so season 2 and season 3 was like absolutely dominant, and still by far probably one of my favorite soccer memories. It was pouring down rain. I think we were playing Sky Blue, and it was Jess's header, so it was Jess again, another game winner. But it was pouring down rain. In the very last couple of minutes, Jess had an amazing goal, and again, I think if there's film of that, I mean, if you just see the celebration that happened on the bench, it was just nuts.
Jeff Fishlock at the 91-minute mark, and the streak stays alive.
I've known that my soccer career is going to come to an end at some point, but this last year, really realizing that this is it has been an extremely difficult decision to make. But you know, it's I love soccer. I'm still fit. I could play for another couple of years, but I think that I really feel a career in the fire service pulling me, and words really can't explain what this team means to me, and I'm going to support the Seattle Reign for the rest of my life, and I don't really have anything else to say because words can't describe.
He was born at 31 weeks, so 2.5 months early. Going through a C-section in a way was a little traumatic for me. One night, the nurse helped me go to the bathroom, and then she helped me walk me back to my bed, and I just started crying, and I was like, I have never been this weak in my life. She's like, it's okay. That's to be expected. To be that vulnerable was really hard for me. Even though maybe I knew it would get better, I just needed to hear it.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped coworkers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater: our members. Join us.
Fans, this season, Seattle Divorce Services is the proud presenter of the Play of the Match following each rain game on YouTube. Seattle Divorce Services believes in taking a sophisticated approach to solving tough cases, with options including litigation, collaboration, and mediation. Let them help you find the right approach for your case. For more information, visit SeattleDivorceServices.com. Halftime in Seattle, the Reign with a 1-0 lead over the Washington Spirit here at Memorial Stadium. Nice to have you with us on this Sunday evening, along with Carmelina Moscato, former Reign and Canadian national team member. I'm Tom Glasgow. Before we get to our highlights from the first half, back to the Keelan Winters piece that you just saw a few moments ago, the emotion that she certainly feels about leaving this sport for her next career. It just shows the passion that she has for this game and this team and this city.
Yeah, I think she said it all. I think the culmination of her playing for this club, them embracing her the way that they have, the consistency of her performances. She's a fan favorite because she's just been on the pitch the whole time. You can't really think of the Seattle Reign without Keelan, and it is a tough decision when you're healthy, and it's just a life decision to move forward. I know, just coming out of, getting into retirement myself at 32, it's always going to be hard, but I didn't have many years left. She does. So I feel for her tonight, but she's doing so well out there.
Well, I don't know if the Kirkland Fire Department has a co-ed soccer team, but if they do, they're going to get a lot better.
Pretty lucky, I would say.
Real soon.
That's pretty awesome.
All
Hit
right,
the jackpot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our first half highlights. 1-0, so I think you have a pretty good idea where we're going to start with this package in terms of what Seattle did in the 27th minute. Outstanding pass by Jess Fishlock, right on the money. Megan Rapinoe, Beverly Yanez, second goal of the season. Hard to execute much better than that.
Yeah, like I said, it was a real big moment for the Seattle Reign to go ahead and rearrange that front three, get Megan on her deadly left foot. I don't even know what foot she is, but she does have a deadly left foot, and go ahead and get Bev that goal she's been craving all half.
So the celebration again, that was in the 27th minute. Washington had a number of good chances. There's Kleiner with the shot. Kottmeyer putting it out. Lohman there, a scramble for the ball in front. Lohman nearly getting it in on the second opportunity, and then coming in was Stengel to try to put it home, and then finally cleared out. I think it was Kendall Fletcher who got it out. 11 shots in the first half for Washington, 5 for Seattle. So the Spirit outshoots Seattle, and then shots on goal, a 7-1 advantage for the Spirit. So if you're Jim Gabarra, what are you telling your team? Just keep doing what you're doing, and I got a pretty good vibe that we're going to break through in the second half.
Definitely. I think you probably will see them stepping higher. They're going to try to take advantage of maybe a little bit of play from the back four as they're swinging the ball. They're going to see maybe a bit more sniper action, the weak side kind of trying to snipe the ball. And I do think at the end of the day, they're going to come out with a little bit more of an attacking strategy. They've sat in a block and been happy to do so all half, but I think Washington's going to go for it, get that shield.
Yeah, and they're seeing that they are, as of, again, the last word we had, they're not getting any help from Western New York tonight down in Portland against the Thorns. And Jim Gabarra told me before the game, he goes, I'm not worried about all the scenarios. We just want to take care of our own business. They hope to do that tonight. It's not their last chance, but they would love to get it done with a comeback here this evening against the Reign, who have the 1-0 advantage. If you are Laura Harvey, What is your best guess in terms of what she may have said to her team at halftime in terms of any adjustments to begin this second half?
I love that question because you really could go either way. You could say, listen, we want to play a little bit more conservatively. We're not going to take as many risks, but that's not the Seattle way. They always play out of the back. They're going to try to build. So I don't think there's going to be many changes, to be honest. It's actually working. They had a lot of great crosses and some dangerous play. I wouldn't change much.
Both teams making their way back out on the field. Good look at Merritt Mathias, number 9. Megan Rapinoe to her left. Haley Kopmeyer, the goalkeeper, briefly to the right of your screen as they are getting ready for the next 45 minutes here in Seattle. We want to let everybody know our plan right now, especially for Reign fans that may want to stick around after this one goes final, is to speak with Keelan Winters. It really is in many respects a night to celebrate her soccer career. I'm old enough, I remember her dad, Brian, playing in the NBA for many seasons with it. Yes, I'm that old.
Oh my God.
For the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, he was a very good outside shooter amongst other talents that he had in the NBA, but obviously a very athletic family.
Very much so, yes. Keelan definitely got those genes. She is one of the most athletic footballers. I don't know how she moves like that.
And a good look there at Allie Krieger, and then back over to Keelan Winters. A very nice weekend of weather in Seattle with temperatures in the low 70s. It is beginning to cool seemingly considerably. Get a little wind here at Memorial Stadium coming off of Puget Sound, which is just to the west.
I absolutely did not prepare for this tonight, but that's okay.
Oh, we're still looking for that space heater for you. We'll try to make it happen.
Yeah, I won't hold my breath.
Not received the attendance for tonight, but a good turnout on a very good sports day in Seattle. Seattle Mariners down in Oakland, winning for the 5th straight time. The Seattle Seahawks opening their season with a come-from-behind dramatic win late against the Miami Dolphins. I'm not sure how the Seattle Storm did. We'll try to find that out for you. They were playing about 5 minutes away, a 5-minute walk from here over at Key Arena, part of the Seattle Center grounds. So if things break well, Seattle Storm clinching a playoff spot with a 78-60 win over the LA Sparks today.
Fantastic.
So if things go well here in the second half, could be a 4-for-4 day for Seattle's professional sports teams in action on this Sunday. Last night in San Jose, getting back to the sport of soccer, the Sounders and Earthquake playing to a 1-1 draw. Rumi Utsugi, number 20 for Seattle. There's Keelan Winters, the captain.
Substitution to start the second half for the Washington Spirit. Out is number 27.
One change for the Washington Spirit, is that right? Nairn coming on?
For the Spirit. Christine Nairn, former member of this Reign squad.
And a Penn State alum.
Yeah, there you go. Another
Quality
Nittany
player.
Lion.
Quality player. Really, really good to watch.
And 3-0 now, the score in the second half in Portland in favor of the Thorns over the Western New York Flash. So
put Seattle in a great spot.
Yeah.
Controllables are really in their hands at this point.
So let me ask you this. As a coach, do you want your players to know that score? Do you ignore that game? You just focus on what you have at hand here?
That's what I would say. I think, going into this, they knew it was a must-win. Nothing's necessarily going to change. It's just going to be quite an exciting moment post-game to know that their playoff hopes are still very much alive. But yeah, really, I wouldn't focus on that too much. if I were the coach.
Left foot by Rapinoe into the 18, cleared out by Huster. Here's Kim Little. Fishlock. And with a left foot, Kendall Fletcher.
Gotta wonder if Jim Gabara is waiting for that pivotal moment to put Crystal Dunn on.
Well,
gotta wonder.
I think that's a very good thought because she came on due to an injury in the second minute of that game Wednesday and obviously had quite an impact on that match. We mentioned Nairn coming on, Line Sigvardsson Jensen going off for Washington. So she had 45 minutes of playing time here tonight, the Danish international.
From what I've observed in playing against Nairn, actually a little bit in Australia, what she does bring is that kind of touch and serve, and her accuracy is unparalleled. So I believe they're probably going to try to swing the ball a little bit more with her and get possession kind of flowing from side to side.
Far post. And off, I believe it was Fletcher. So another corner opportunity coming up for Washington.
Again, these moments are critical, keeping their focus. Seattle Reign, making sure they get solid clearances from these are the moments that you're, with the 1-0 that are very risky and you're actually most vulnerable.
Sixth corner kick in this game coming up for the Spirit. Headed away, Estelle Johnson. And the goal kick coming up for number 28, Haley Koppmeyer.
So you can see Washington Spirit stepping right up on, and as a result, there's going to be a lot of direct play, and it's going to be Seattle's job to secure the first and second, unfortunately, like they did not here. It's going to be a lot of fight if they start to go direct.
Seattle throw in. There's Barnes. Had a good idea to go to Utsugi, just did not get that ball high enough. Oredega trying to counter. And corner kick number 7 coming up for the Spirit.
Jess Fishlock has to be one of the greatest assets in a defensive transition. She chases people down like it's her last resort.
Yeah.
And it's every time. And I feel like you feel safe with a defensive midfielder that's able to do that work time and time again. She just individually shut that play down.
Cleared out by Yanez that time, and here comes Little. Seattle attempting to counter. Some room in the central portion of the field, and a nice find that time. And that time the pass by Mellis, splitting two teammates, not near either. So the throw in for the Spirit. Krieger. Huster plays that out. Western New York with a score in Portland at Providence Park, so it's now a 3-1 Portland lead. And again, from a Seattle perspective, that has to be a Thorns victory, a tie not good enough to keep Seattle in playoff contention.
I think you'd love to see an earlier goal in this half just to kind of really secure it, although they say 2-0 is probably the worst lead to have in soccer.
Right.
However, you know, this gives them a little bit more security. We haven't really seen, it's pretty early here, but we haven't seen any final acts yet, so hopefully Seattle can arrive in the final third here.
Barnes taken away by Lohman. Nairn. And Huster sends that one over the far touchline. Yanez with a very nice chest trap, but Huster there to take it away.
Kopmeyer got some excellent range there. If we could have secured the ball with Bev, it would have been nice to continue possession there.
Well done by Rapinoe. Terrific anticipation of where Lohman was heading. Yanez.
I think one of the hardest things to deal with is a fullback, an outside back dribbling central like that. You kind of create these central overloads, and you see Merritt getting on the other end of it.
Mathias with an opportunity. The pass coming in from...
It's a really hard run to track. If you don't know that she's coming, she just seems like an odd player for the defender, so it's almost like a little bit of an overload mismatch.
Is Mellis making the pass. A rare corner kick this evening coming up for the Reign. Barnes to take it.
If I had to guess, the Seattle Reign is really banking on this seconds. They have 4 players outside of the box.
And Little really going after it. Yanez. Ortega unable to control the ball.
Seattle Reign FC would like to welcome the following groups in attendance: Bowling, Blue Angels Soccer Team, Velocity Soccer Club, Washington Premier, Portage Bay, and Annie Wright.
Reign reversing field. Fletcher. And Huster gives it right back to Seattle. Kim Little. Boy, just a terrific job controlling that ball, weaving through the midfield, and then putting a pass right on the mark to Yanez. Here's Winters now. Here's Little.
I like what you said. I think the best players in the world are the ones that are able to execute something of the sort, like you said, a quality pass under pressure with both feet. There's nothing that parallels that.
And there are times the Kim Little in traffic in that central area of the field, multiple defenders around her, and she can really frustrate defenders with her ability to remain on the ball, get out of trouble, find an open teammate.
Well, it's confusing. You have no idea how she did it. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. She's special in that way, and I think there are those players in the game that really defy not the odds, but really what you expect from a midfielder. She is the best technician in the game. She's got to be.
Rapinoe giving it a go from distance that time. Seattle throw in. Fishlock trying to thread a needle there, but well defended by the Spirit. Taken away by Utsugi. A chance for Seattle to counter right here. Plenty of room for Rapinoe.
For a moment there.
And a corner coming up for the Reign.
I think the best part and the worst part about playing against a really organized block like what Washington's providing is that it's really tough to get out of the initial press, but once you do, its floodgates are open, as you just saw with
Barnes.
Rapinoe.
Rapinoe just missed hitting it. Very good opportunity there for Megan. Little. Barnes, Utsugi getting wide.
Jess is just everywhere tonight, and
Yeah.
as you can see, she's able to do that. And I've said this before, it's because of Keelan's positioning and consistency, reliability, that Jess is able to do basically whatever she'd like, and she's is often in the right place at the right time.
And a nice buildup of that service failing. Western New York has scored another goal in Portland. So it's 3-2 Thorns leading the Flash. And remember, for Seattle to stay alive in the postseason tonight, very nice ball. Here's Mellis. The pass from Rapinoe.
It looked a little heavy, took a deflection and landed perfectly for Mellis.
And Mellis, the left foot. Yanez was there in case Weiss was unable to secure that ball, but she did a very nice job before that buildup began. It must be a Seattle win, and it must be a Portland win for Seattle to stay alive in the postseason. If either club, Seattle or Western New York, if these end up in ties this evening, that's not good enough. So it's going to be a Portland win and Seattle win tonight for the Reign. Stay in the playoff picture. Weiss again, tracking the ball down. Need to find out how many minutes are remaining in that match. They started 30 minutes earlier than we did here in Seattle's. 4 minutes remaining down at Providence Park. So for the Thorns, it's hold on time. Fishlock. And Yanez outrace Church to the ball. Yes. Fishlock would not secure it. But room for winners.
Definitely, and I think it's going to take a moment, and likely, again, with this organized team, it's going to come from an attacking transition or a cross and a finish, or a special moment like this.
Foul on Huster. Fishlock on the ball and taken down by Torrey.
Two fiery players going after it, always fun to watch.
This is the closest to the 18 for a free kick for Seattle this evening. We'll see if Kim Little or Lauren Barnes take the direct approach and go for the goal, or try to set up a teammate here.
I find it quite interesting that actually Washington has every single player behind the ball at this moment, when Seattle Reign has 4 players. So they're not looking for that transition. They're really looking to keep this ball out of the net, as you can tell is their priority. Typically, you'll see one striker ready for any outlet, but
that camera angle we just had can give you an idea how appealing it looks for Kim Little to take a shot, as she did, but Weiss well positioned. Another look at it.
I think 9 out of 10 times you're going to ask him to shoot that. So.
Yeah. Lohman. Ortega. Pino's pass deflecting off one of the Spirit players, so it'll be a Seattle throw-in. Should be a Seattle throw-in. That was a very easy call, frankly, to make. I'm not sure how that was missed.
You know, I haven't made too many friends with refs along the way, but they're human too.
They are. You're saying that's evidence they are human.
Yeah, you know what? It's okay.
I think it's been a really well officiated match.
Absolutely.
Here tonight, but that was one they missed.
And they didn't pay me to say that. It's a true statement. really what Seattle needs to do here is just keep calm, keep moving the ball. No need for frustration. They're still in control of this match.
In the 61st minute, but that control can change
In an
quickly
instant,
with just
yeah.
a 1-0 advantage.
Momentum can shift very quickly. We see a little sniper action from Rapinoe, risk taken, work rate to get back, fantastic.
Ortega the target. Barnes plays it out, throw in for Washington.
It's a lot harder than it looks as well for Barnesy to do that channel. Sometimes when the fullback is out, the center back is responsible for the channel, and to kill a pacey striker there was really well done by Lou Barnes.
And it's going to be a corner kick. That will be number 8.
Catch the rain off guard. They're setting up. There is a natural 2v1 set up here, so I wonder if Nairn will take advantage. She certainly.
Near post. Didasco. Utsugi. Ortega on the ball now. Good battle won there by the Rain.
Naho Kawasumi ready to come on.
I think I said that was Usugi. They are a distance from us. I believe that was
That
Kendall
was
Fletcher
It
who
was
actually
Fletcher. Yes.
won that matchup. So Naho getting ready to come on. Krieger. Church goes out wide. Very nice anticipation by Winters. Pino circles back around. Little. Fishlock trying to go over Krieger to Rapinoe. Of course, those two know each other very well from their.
They've connected many a time on some wonderful moments for this club. I think Jess is one of the few players. I really can't name any off the top of my head, but that can hit a diagonal ball like that. That eliminates 2-3 lines of defense just by one pass, and I think that you'll see that time and time again. And Megan keeping her width will enable you to get in behind. That was a little unlucky there.
Renan Nellis being replaced by Nahomi Kawasumi. So Naho coming on, number 36.
Talk about depth. Naho coming on from the bench. Fantastic.
What did you think of Mellis's minutes tonight?
I thought she was very effective tonight, especially in the first half, those first 20. She was responsible for a lot of turnovers, and I thought she did a great job tonight.
Koppmeyer. Matthias.
Great work to get out of that press. Like we said, it really opens up once you do that.
Yanez. And room again for Rapinoe. Looking on Krieger, of course, two longtime members of the U.S. national team.
I think you see, like you mentioned earlier in the pre-show, it's just a little bit of frustrations from Rapinoe there. I think her mind and her body are still finding ways to connect. You see a little bit of frustration again.
Yeah.
But really, again, it's about building game to game, and that's for any player coming back from an injury. It's going to be that game sense and connecting the mind and body again.
She hasn't had a tremendous amount of game time. She had her
No,
time in
she hasn't.
Rio and a handful of games post-Olympics with the rain.
Right, not many for sure. And I don't mean to keep talking about Keelan, but it is her special night. And I think the cool part about it is that she's doing what she's done every single game for this club, and she's keeping everything tidy in the midfield. And oh, there's Crystal Dunn.
Let's see, we had
Who was that?
I think Kleiner coming off.
Number 20.
So Kleiner off, and coming on is Shayna Williams.
Shayna Williams, got it.
And Shayna Williams scoring the second of Washington's 2 goals
Great
against
goal, by
Seattle
the
on
way.
Wednesday night, and that again was in part due to the creation of Crystal Dunn, who took a very good left-footed
That's
shot,
right.
and that's the one that Kottmeyer could not corral. I think she would tell you she should have been able to hold on to that ball, but Williams was right there to take advantage of it. About 15 minutes into the second half, and it was a 2-0 Washington lead at that point.
Great sub, some fresh legs. Going to be putting pressure on our right side.
Look at that foul. Now Bev on the ball, playing it back to Utsugi. And the final from Providence Park in Portland, a 3-2 Thorns victory. So with a win tonight, Seattle will stay alive heading into the final week of play in the NWSL. And again, an international break coming up, so those games, the drama will build for a couple of weeks is what will take place. Seattle will close out its season on Sunday, September 25th in Houston against the Dash. The Flash will be on the road at Boston the day before.
So
Now
they'll
Boston
know exactly.
Boston has a recent win against Western New York, despite the fact that Boston is last place in the league. So who's to say? But business needs to be taken care of here over the last 22 minutes.
Boston has done a great job here at the end of the season. It seems like they have, like we mentioned when I actually was commentating, they did not give up. And so they're going to give any team that they play a really good run for their money. They're a solid team, and they're peaking now. It's testament to them to keep going.
First, the goal for all these teams play in Houston in the championship game. We're going to have more on that and how you can get tickets for that in just a moment. Fishlock, that's the second time she and Lohman went literally head-to-head with the foul going against Jess.
Seems to me her timing's quite good.
It is.
You know, I think it's a little early in that she makes that contact, which makes it look a little bit like a foul, but in fact, I think she's winning the ball.
Ortega in the corner. Throw in. Well, do mark your calendar now for that 2016 National Women's Soccer League Championship on Sunday, October 9th at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston. We'll be there to support our league, support our game, and hopefully support our team. Tickets for the NWSL Championship game are on sale now at nwslchampionship.com with prices starting at $20. Start making plans now to be in Houston for the NWSL Championship.
I think Seattle really has done a great job to get the right amount of numbers behind the ball, making it really tough to play for Washington. I think they're getting a little frustrated, in fact, and not creating much. But they're going to have to do that for another 20 minutes plus to really hold on to this result.
Lone goal in this game coming in the 27th minute as Jess Fishlock put a pass on the target to Megan Rapinoe, sprinting down the Left sideline area. The cross right on the money to Beverly Yanez, who really just had to do nothing more than put her right foot on the ball. She did, and Seattle has been since that time trying to protect the 1-0 lead. Holly Krieger with a nice service into the 18 as Koppmeyer controls it.
You asked me earlier also what Koppmeyer brings. That was a great decision there. She could have played quickly. There was an overload on her left side, but she decided to get the team tight and just play direct. So those are the kinds of things that you expect from a goalkeeper to help really maintain your tempo.
Winters chipping that ball ahead, hoping someone would be able to run onto it, but it's Weiss sending it out now for Washington.
I also think there's really, again, if I'm either one of these coaches, is there anything really that I would change going into this last stretch here? Seems like they're going about their business the same way and kind of hoping for the best.
I want to go back to that Portland win over Western New York. So the 3 points for the Thorns gives them 38. As we play this match, the Spirit with 39 points. So the Shield winner may come down to the final week of the season as well if Washington is not able to rally and get a victory here. A tie for Washington would not put away the Shield for them either. So they are looking for 2 goals down the stretch necessary to wrap up the NWSL Shield tonight.
Becoming one of those games, there's a lot of possession, a lot of stretches of possession, but really not amounting to much in terms of arriving in dangerous spaces.
Rapinoe nearly got that through to Utsugi, but Didasco with the leg save there. He got that, there's her right leg up in a bit of an awkward position, but enough to deny the ball getting through. That was huge.
I think even the vision for Rapinoe to find that weak side, it's tough to see. That was well done.
Little. Through the ball just a little too strong with Rapinoe to target.
I think a great kind of similarity between Kim Little's style of play, and I'm going to be as bold as to say messy, is that they draw so many players around them with their dribbling skills. She just drew 4 players to try to dish Rapinoe, and
you see Megan Rapinoe coming off. Carson Pickett, the rookie defender out of Florida State, coming on. That ovation has to feel very good for Megan Rapinoe, who in many senses has had the weight of the world on her shoulders since she made her decision to support Colin Kaepernick and his cause, with her kneeling down during the national anthem 2 games ago in Chicago.
it's absolutely caused a lot of discussion, and like you said, I think it's good, bad, and indifferent, but it's been pretty tough, and it's nice to see her have had a really solid performance and keep it about football tonight.
My guess is that decision in terms of minutes played tonight determined before this game even started.
I would say so.
In terms of building up post-injury and post-return.
That's it. I think it's a football decision. She, in fact, impacted the game. I think that was appropriate amount of minutes for her, and she'll build up to a 90 at some point, but definitely it's just a return to play plan.
So an offensive-minded player coming off, the defensive-minded Pickett, number 16, on. Any formation change you're seeing here, or is they playing Pickett up a little bit?
Well, I actually think they might use Pickett to try to keep Washington in their half. Maybe you see some fresh legs so that they're not going to get out on their strong side, which is, it looks to be the right. So it's probably more of a defensive move, fresh legs.
Substitution for Washington, coming on a player you're very familiar with. Number 8, longtime member of the Canadian national team, Diana Matheson.
Always puts a smile on my face, D-Math. What a solid player, and she will impact this game just simply by her leadership.
Lohman coming off. Beyond that leadership you talk about in terms of the skill set, what can Matheson bring to this team over the final 15 minutes?
You know, I've been playing against D since I was about 4 years old, it feels like.
Really?
And the cool part about watching her play is the sophistication that she's developed over the years, and I really do feel like she is amongst the top 5 midfielders that I've seen internationally. And with that being said, what does she bring? She brings a lot of structural awareness. She's always going to receive ball in tight spaces, make smart decisions, and ultimately do what she's meant to do, is keep the ball for her squad. And I think she's a dangerous threat penetratively, so they're going to use her for that as well, for her vision.
Utsugi playing the ball to Little, does a nice job beating Krieger to the ball. It'll be a corner for Seattle. Well, they set up for this. Your thoughts on your home country getting the bronze in Rio and all the players that contributed to that outstanding performance?
I think what brought me most pride as a Canadian watching those performances, and it has nothing to do really with me being on the team or not, it had a lot to do with how they played, the level of organization, the consistency of performances. The first game opening up with that 10-man strategy against Australia really set the tone. And I just was really proud to see some fantastic football, a great brand that we and they have worked ultimately 4 years to put together. And I saw it really come together, and it brought a tear to my eye just to see some of those girls have been working on that, and all the sacrifices that are made. You know, it really was a great moment for Canada soccer. Inspirational too. I was actually coaching the U15 team, the Canadian team at that time, and we're all watching, seeing that sparkle in those girls' eyes, and really their role models doing that, I think was really special for me personally.
And those,
not that you asked me that.
Even those littles, you know, those 7, 8, 9-year-old Canadian girls that see that performance,
it's everything,
inspiring for them as well.
It's everything.
Kim Little going out wide. Matthias 1v1 with Didasco, and it'll be a rain corner. So talk about where we are with 13 minutes remaining. You have this 1-0 lead. How do you balance that attack mode versus I don't want to make a mistake mode that could lead to a game-tying, playoff eliminating mistake?
I think I just saw little interaction between Laura and Carson. I think she's a key player. When you make a substitute, you're able to kind of load them with information, maybe some key factors. And what you're asking, I think she's going to ask Carson to do a good job defensively, not to risk too much.
Winners!
Wow.
That is how you put a mark on the final home game of your soccer career.
This is it. This is really the best case scenario that could have happened for Keelan Winters tonight. The whole entire squad getting together in their last match here at Memorial, putting the ball away in such a monumental moment for this club.
You've not seen a reaction to a goal by the Reign this season like the one we just witnessed. That is a special moment.
It really is. You're just asking what they need to do, and that's just that someone taking the lead, Capitano putting it in the back of the net. I don't mean to sound biased here, but that was a special moment.
Could not have placed that shot any better. Keelan Winters, the captain for the Seattle Reign, with a goal that may be enough to keep this team's playoff hopes alive.
I don't mean to get caught up in the moment, but
it's a moment worth getting caught up in.
I think so,
without a doubt.
And I do think that, you know, over this season, there's been, the Seattle team has not got the results I think that they've got in the past or wanted to get, but they are capable of special moments. That's the core of this group, has stuck together for 4 years, and I think it manifests into these kinds of moments, capitalizing on a great opportunity to put this game away.
Little
For me, that's less X's and O's, and that's more connection. So that's fantastic to see.
6th goal in Keelan Winters' career.
Wow.
Here with Seattle.
Wow. No better night.
And as we mentioned, she really is one of those players that you don't measure the impact strictly by the numbers. Now, there are players you do need numbers from.
Correct.
In this sport.
That's it.
But she is, as Laura Harvey described her, that glue and an opportunist, as we saw it right there. Usually in terms of offense being a threat, it would be through the air on set pieces for Keelan Winters. So to get it off of, yes, a corner kick, but more in a run of place, just getting it done, it was... She'll be talking about that one for decades to come, as she should.
That's exciting, yes.
Little trying to get it through to Yanez. Defended well by the Spirit. Matheson playing it up. Terrific ball to Pickett in terms of the idea, the vision. Just a little too strong that time by Fishlock.
Seattle NFC thanks you for coming out to tonight's match.
Well, certainly you don't go into a stall mode here, but it's more of a possession mode, right? Let's string some passes together. If the opportunity presents, go. So you want to maybe make that Washington defense work a little bit more.
Spot on. I think
Show
you're
a little
right.
bit of fatigue, right?
Yes, I think that's exactly it. And you saw that moment just kind of came about for Jess to hit it over the top, and they're not going to shy away from those moments, but they may not be forcing stuff, for sure. 2-0 lead. Safety.
Good job
Calculated
by,
risks.
Nice header there by Naho, just to play it back to Fletcher.
Great turn by Keelan there.
Tedesco.
Again, that central overload by the fullback. Really tough to defend.
Aaron playing it back. Johnson. Here's Church. Yanez with a good initial block defensively, and then the foul committed. And quickly Washington back at it. Williams trying to get a shot off. Matheson trying to get a shot off. Fishlock out of the pack. Pickett, nice find. Little with room to operate.
This is one of those moments you're talking about. Are the Reign going to commit a lot of numbers forward in a moment like that? Maybe not. Maybe they're going to save their energy and defend. It depends. But it didn't seem like they were eager to get involved there, which makes sense from a strategical standpoint.
And that was Kawasumi, who had her shot blocked. It's a goal kick coming up for Weiss.
I don't know if I were Washington, don't know about their strategy or what they're looking to necessarily achieve, but maybe you start to send a little bit more players forward, maybe change structure. As you can see, Krieger has attacking qualities in her, and if she wants to start with maybe perhaps a 3-back and she starts to go into the midfield, which it looks like she's doing right now, I can see why they're doing that. Trying to maybe get a late goal. She's actually essentially a midfielder at this point, so they've definitely gone to a 3-4-3.
Fletcher with the direct pass for Kawasumi. Nice touch by Fishlock. Mathias unable to control it.
Little personnel switch here with Tori Huster and Krieger. I think that's quite interesting, actually, just getting Krieger more involved. Tori's definitely more of a defensive player. I don't mind the switch, and you can see the fullbacks have a little bit more liberties to get forward at this point in the game, which again is a testament to that they are chasing the game, in fact, trying to get that goal.
Well, at this point, there's really no difference for them, 2-0, 3-0.
That's
but
it.
there's a big difference if in short order they can make it 2-1.
Right.
And all of a sudden they have an opportunity to at least get out of here with a point.
You can see that's exactly what they're doing.
And final substitution for Seattle. Kirsten Dahlstream coming on. And Beverly Yanez will come off. Her goal gave Seattle the 1-0 lead in the 27th minute. Her second goal of the season.
She should be proud of her performance tonight. She definitely gave her all. Quite a few opportunities and put a really good one away.
One thing about number 25 as she jogs onto the field for these last 4+ minutes, you'll get everything you need. She is non-stop, constant motion. She will run as much as she can.
It's a fantastic sub in the sense that you're putting on a player that's going to really change the pace for this front three, both defensively and offensively. As you saw how quickly she got involved there, it's going to be a nightmare for defenders to deal with at the end of the game.
Naho with the throw in. Little. Back to Naho, offside. And a throw in for Seattle.
A lot of excitement from Laura Harvey, a lot of coaching happening, making sure that she has that those numbers back, that stability that she needs to really lock up this game.
Well, if they do hold on, it as we've been talking about throughout the night, they remain alive in the playoff picture with one game left to play in the regular season. I think if in the end, as we look at Dahlstream lose the ball, and here comes Allie Krieger on the counter. Let's follow this through. Stengel played out by Barnes. If you go back 2 games ago, the early 2-0 lead, 2-0 lead in Chicago that Seattle had, only to end up with a 2-2 result in that. I mean, I know you can pick moments from almost every game, but when you look at late in the season, when you're looking at these must-win scenarios, that might be one that really digs at them, that they had the 2-0 advantage and let it get away. 3 points there, and you're looking at a
totally different scenario.
Totally different situation for this club.
And I think you're right. I like what you said, because I think there's so many little moments throughout the season where you're like, if we would have put that goal away, or if we would have defended that, you caught that ball. But here we are. You're exactly right.
Off the bar. Shot by Ordega. Kobmeyer punches it out. Tedesco inside. Williams, no, and Kobmeyer getting a hand on it. There were multiple bullets dodged right there by Seattle as Washington put a ton of pressure on Haley Kobmeyer. That was Johnson with the header. That was off the crossbar. Then Ordega. That ball deflects off Kobmeyer. She punches it out.
Really well done.
Tedesco in. Williams got it up in the air. That's, I don't think, what she wanted, but big sigh of relief for Haley Kobmeyer.
Really well managed, actually. In fact, she got across the net as quickly as she was at that near post for that second attempt. And, those are the moments that are going to define the season. You drop a ball, it goes in. You save that one, and it's a game changer. And it instills a lot of confidence in the team as well, when the goalkeeper can create moments like that.
That was, I think, Naho who initially sent that pass to Utsugi. Who went for that would have been quite a highlight. That would have been a highlight.
Tough.
She went for the full meal deal on that. Had a big smile on her face after.
Yeah, those are those things you got to take it. You got to take it.
You're up 2-0 late. Let it rip. I didn't hear how much added time we'll have. We are
Missed it as well.
beyond our full 90. I wouldn't imagine it's too much. Really no injury issues here in the second half. And as I said, 2 players go down and hopefully both are okay. It's Keelan Winters. Why not one more hard knock at home for Keelan? She's
just
been
for
involved
safe
in
measure,
so many
you know.
collisions.
Something to remember, you know.
There you go. Of course, her career, that's not an unusual sight. See her pick herself
That's it.
up off the deck. Looks like
Warrior.
Ortega's okay as well. That's very good.
Good to see.
Fishlock with that back heel, and then just an inadvertent collision. Little still with the ball, and Weiss finally came up with it. Well, Seattle getting greedy, looking for that 3rd goal here tonight.
The momentum's theirs, in fact. You know, you always wonder, like, why should they change if it's actually working and they're arriving in the final quarter here. So it's great that they're continuing to attack. It shows the spirit of the squad. I didn't mean that, by the way. I'm not that clever.
Well.
We have less than 2 minutes left in the half. You have 5-6 players behind the ball. They're going to really see this one out.
We did have 3 minutes of extra time. Oh, good long punt there by Weiss. Nairn. Wide to Krieger. Ortega can't get on the end of it to control it, but it will be a corner kick coming up for the Spirit. Didasco left-footed shot. Matthias to Kawasumi. That's when maybe you just want to turn and just let it rip.
I agree. It's one of those moments, no risk.
Control's not the issue. It's
No.
just getting it out of danger. For
Correct.
example,
Left-footed shot, was that Johnson taken off the line? And who was that? It was
I don't know if it.
Pickett. I think it was Carson Pickett.
Yes.
Took it right off the line, and then Carson Pickett with the hug with
Big moment.
Keelan Winters, and that is it, Seattle. The 2-0 victory. The Reigns stay alive in the NWSL playoff race. And for Keelan Winters in her final professional soccer game, not only the victory, but the 6th goal over the course of her 4-year career as a member of the Seattle Reigns. That's pretty much the way I think a lot of these Reign players would have scripted it out. Get the win, stay alive, and one of the goals comes from Keelan Winters.
No better storyline if you ask me, and just the smiles, except for Dave there. Kristen,
Oh,
Kristen
she's
Dahlstrom,
always. It's hard to get a smile out of her.
It is. You just noticed, yeah. But no, I'm just joking around.
Doesn't
but
mean
definitely,
she's not happy.
No, exactly. She shows it in different ways.
Game face is always on. Well, we anticipate speaking in short order with Keelan Winters on this very special night for her. Seattle adding 3 points, so 27 points now for the Reign. The Sky Blue at 26 points heading into play today. But the real issue for Seattle, the New York Flash, this is the team they've got to catch. And New York, with a loss tonight in Portland, remains at 29 points. Now, the Chicago Red Stars earned a point today in a 0-0 draw with Kansas City. So they're at 30. Seattle, though, needs the win, and a new Western New York Flash loss at Boston on Saturday the 24th. If that happens, Seattle then the next day must get a win in Houston against the Dash, who are near the bottom of the league table. So
They'll know exactly
it's not
what
an
they're
impossible
looking at.
scenario, but they, again, will need some help. And Seattle Reign fans are now very big fans of the Boston Breakers, hoping they can knock off Western New York a couple of weeks from now.
Pretty amazing it's coming down to the wire. Of course, you would have wanted a little bit of cushion. Of course, every team does. But this is what makes football and championship football so exciting. There's still a lot to play for. It's going to have a lot of intention leading into the end of this season. And that's really what you want as a player.
Well, overall, what was your... Obviously, they get the win. It's a shutout victory. It's a clean sheet for Haley Kottmeyer, so props to her and her defense. Overall, what did you make of Seattle's performance here tonight?
I thought it was quite tidy. I thought they had a great variety of attacking football, really dangerous football, a lot of great crosses, numbers in the box, a variety of ways that they arrived in the final third. And I thought it was a balanced performance. I thought they did exactly what they needed to do defensively. They really shut down a strong Washington team. I didn't see too many chances. Of course, the end there happened, but we were able to still defend that. So I saw a really good balanced performance tonight from Seattle.
I want to mention the Washington Spirit will end their season on the road against Chicago. That will be on Saturday, September 24th. And regardless, they want the Shield, but whether or not they get the Shield, they will have a home semifinal. And that is most important when you know that the championship match will be neutral site. So you're really talking about bragging rights as the Shield winner versus any significant advantage being the 1 seed or the 2 seed. You're home either way.
I agree with your thought process.
Jim Gabarra still has a team that is, as we have seen throughout this season, very capable of ending up hoisting a championship trophy in Houston in early October. As this crowd salutes Keelan Winters with a standing ovation. Well-deserved one. Let's take a look at tonight's play of the match. I've got a pretty good idea. It's going to be delivered by number 11, and there it is.
Of course. Huge moment in many ways, putting this game away, and also, again, by the Capitano. The celebration, I think, is probably the highlight of the match for me.
Yeah, better than the goal, right? The goal was great, but you got to have that to get
smiles.
to this.
That's what
it's
it's
just
about.
the joy that everybody has for her, and it tells you how much she has meant to this team for 4 years. So Seattle Divorce Services delivering your play of the match, which was delivered by Keelan Winters with the 6th goal of her career. I believe she can hear us. Well, Keelan, how about a little thumbs up? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
And we're sending thumbs up right back down to you. We have a number of things we want to talk with you about.
Too many things.
But we want you to talk about that goal. It really was, I think, a moment you could not have scripted any better in terms of getting the win, staying alive in the playoff race, your final home game, and you get goal number 6 of your Reign career. Tell us about it.
It doesn't even really seem real. I haven't scored a goal all season, and for it to come in my last game at Memorial, it absolutely means the world to me. And more than anything, yes, scoring always feels good, but more than anything, and more importantly, we got the win, and our playoff hopes are alive. So.
Listen, Keelan, what you just said is the definition of you. You're always thinking of team first. That's what makes you a true champion and a true professional, the emotion that you've showed tonight. And I thought your performance tonight was exactly what you have given this club for 4 years, consistency. You've allowed others to be their best selves because you're your best self. So you know what? Congratulations on a fantastic career. It's amazing to watch you, and I could get choked up because I know how much this all means to you. So great work tonight. And I should be asking you a question, but I'm just telling you how great you are.
Thanks, Carmen.
Well, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'll ask you some more.
You take this one, Tom.
Take us through the day, knowing this was going to be your final home match, some of the thoughts you had. Now, look, you've got one more game left to play at
That's
least.
Right.
If things break your way, you may hoist a championship trophy down in Houston. So we're not saying a final goodbye to you right now, but take us just through this day, the emotions in your thought process.
Yeah, it's really just been the last 48 hours has been really surreal. It's been definitely an emotional roller coaster. I'm a pretty stable person, but you wouldn't guess it from the last 48 hours, that's for sure. But I mean, talk about extreme highs and extreme lows, but like you just said, there's still a chance that we can hoist that NWSL trophy, which is ultimately definitely what I've been searching for in my career as a professional. I've never won a professional championship, so I'm after it, and I know my teammates are as well.
All right, I want to talk about the pregame ceremony, the recognition you received. You are moving on to the next phase of your life, and kudos to you as you are going to become a first responder, a fire person with the Kirkland
firewoman. Or let's just leave it at gender neutral and call it firefighter.
There you go. I wasn't sure of the proper verbiage. I was giving you every option.
Just a firefighter.
So you've got Lieutenant Paul Smith and Captain Brian Vadney. They are here, and they make that presentation to you. What was going through your mind there?
Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen, so...
I saw that.
Yeah, no, I was stunned by it. It's definitely not something that I expected, but it does mean the world to me that they took some time out of their day, came down to the stadium to welcome me onto their team, and heading into 2017. But with that said, yes, I'm trying to become a firefighter, but that initial year, you're a probationary firefighter, so it's basically like an extended tryout. So let's hope I make the team.
Well, history says you've done okay in your life in terms of tryouts, so I got a feeling.
No pressure.
I got a feeling you're going to be okay. So, what are your thoughts? I want to take this back to soccer and this team. What are your thoughts with this one match remaining? You will need some help. I know you're going to be a big fan of the Boston Breakers when they take on Western New York a day before your final game. Kind of sum up this season and your career with the Seattle Reign, what it's meant to you.
Yeah, this season obviously hasn't gone the way that we had hoped. Coming off of two tremendously dominant seasons in 2014 and 2015, we were hoping to carry that dominance over, but I think playing the same system and being dominant, obviously other teams are going to learn what you do well and adapt to it. So I think that's exactly what you're seeing is the other teams in the NWSL, changing their play so that they can perform against us, which to their credit I think has worked a little bit this year. But with that said, everything's on the line right now, and it ain't over till it's over. So definitely heading into the next game with our eyes on the prize, but yeah, definitely going to be huge fans of Boston.
Definitely. I think also I mentioned it during the actual match, but I think the core of this team has allowed you guys to even be in this position in the sense that yes, maybe it wasn't your best football or teams have figured you out like you said, but you guys always find a way, and that's I think the best part about this squad. For me, I've seen this since its inception, really.
Yeah, and what you just said is really important. I think great teams always find a way to win.
Exactly.
And speaking from history, I think this team has been great, and it's full of great players like Jess Fishlock, Megan Rapinoe, Hope Solo, and Haley Kottmeyer's coming right in, stepping up huge for us in this game. I know those are big shoes to fill, but she's doing a tremendous job, and the core of this team, I can't say enough about it, about each and every one of them. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud to be part of this club.
And you as well, Keelan, and you as well.
Well, we want to let you go so you can enjoy this evening. As I mentioned, though, I want to say this during the broadcast. I'm old enough, while I was not a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I always enjoyed watching your dad play. Big basketball
I'll let
fan.
him know.
So,
he's watching.
The Winters family has provided some memorable moments over many decades for sports fans. You delivered another one tonight. It was great to witness it. We wish you the best for the rest of your soccer career. We thank you for your pending service to the Kirkland community. We wish you great success in that career as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We love you, Keelan.
Love you guys.
Keelan Winters, the captain of your Seattle Reign, with a goal tonight that was not just a goal. It was one that really put this game away and kept this Seattle team in position to have a shot on the final weekend of regular season play to make it into the NWSL playoffs. Fun chatting with her as she now gets a hug from Reign owner Bill Pridemore. Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Thanks,
That
Tom.
was fun.
Fantastic.
Enjoyed working with you. Second time we've had an opportunity to work together this season. Carmelina Moscato. Also thanks to Amy Griffin, assistant head coach at the UW. Worked a game with Amy. I know she's been on a number of broadcasts. And my regular partner, the head coach at the University of Washington, Leslie Gallimore. Her team got a win today. They are off to a very nice start this season. And thanks as well to Bill Schwartz, who sat in for me on a good number, at least half the games this season due to conflicts. I want to thank Bill for being available and the great job that he did. And certainly thanks as well. They work a lot harder than the people that you hear during these streams. The folks at Bootstrapper Studios for today's broadcast, all of our broadcasts this season as they live stream sports and events of all sizes. Take advantage of their talent, their dedication. Visit them at bootstrapperstudios.com. Well, that was fun, and that was fast. The whole portion of the 2016 NWSL season over for the Seattle Reign. One more game to play in Houston against the Dash on Sunday, September 25th. 2-0, the final. Seattle beats Washington.